You know what the scariest street in America looks like? It looks like yours. Perfect lawns, clean driveways, kids riding bikes, neighbors waving from porches. The kind of street where nothing bad ever happens, except it did. And the wildest part, every single person on Elmwood Drive, Phoenix, Arizona, would have voted Raymond Holt Most Trustworthy Neighbor of the Year. Homeowners Association president organized the block parties, shoveled driveways for elderly neighbors without being asked. Meanwhile, underneath his garage floor were three people who trusted him the exact same way. His name was Raymond Holt, 53 years old, retired postal worker, 12-year resident of Elmwood Drive. And this is the story of how the most normal-looking house on the block was hiding something nobody on that street ever recovered from knowing. Phoenix, Arizona, October 2019. Elmwood Drive was the kind of neighborhood that made people feel safe the second they turned onto it. Maintained homes, friendly faces, a neighborhood watch sign on every corner that Raymond Holt himself had campaigned to install. Raymond lived alone at number 14, divorced since 2009, no kids, drove a clean pickup truck, never missed a homeowners meeting, remembered every neighbor's birthday. The neighbors closest to him were interviewed after the arrest. Every single one of them said the same thing. If there was one person on this street they never would have suspected, it was Ray. But here's the thing about Raymond Holt that investigators uncovered. The friendly neighbor routine was not just a personality. It was a hunting strategy. 3 victims, all connected to Elmwood Drive. First, Danny Okafor, 34, new to the neighborhood, moved into number 18 in January 2019. Raymond was the first person to knock on his door with a welcome casserole. Danny was reported missing in March, his car still in the driveway, his dog still in the backyard. Second, Pete Garrison, 41 handyman, had done work for multiple houses on the street, including Raymond's last seen leaving Raymond's property on a Tuesday afternoon in June. His work van found abandoned 2 miles away. Third, Carol Sims, 67, elderly widow, 3 doors down, relied on Raymond for help with heavy lifting, grocery runs, yard work, reported missing by her daughter in September after not answering calls for 5 days. 3 different people, 3 different situations, one common factor. They all trusted Raymond Holt completely. And Raymond had used that trust as a door he could open whenever he wanted. The case broke open because of a dog, not a police dog, not a trained canine unit, a neighbor's golden retriever named Biscuit, who got loose on an October afternoon and made a beeline for Raymond's side yard, digging frantically at a specific patch of ground near the garage wall. The neighbor pulled Biscuit away and thought nothing of it. Until that night, watching the news, she heard Danny Okafor's name mentioned in a cold case update segment and remembered where Biscuit had been digging. She called the tip line at 11 p.m. Detective Sarah Obi had the warrant by 7 a.m. Ground-penetrating radar confirmed 3 separate disturbances beneath the garage floor before lunch. By 4 p.m., all 3 victims had been located. Raymond Holt was apprehended at a grocery store 2 miles away at 5:23 p.m. He had a receipt for a birthday card in his bag for the neighbor next door. What investigators found inside number 14 was methodical and deeply disturbing. A hidden room behind a false wall in the basement, soundproofed, locked from outside. Photographs, records, a calendar with dates marked going back 2 years. Raymond had been planning since 2017. The neighborhood watch signs he had campaigned for were positioned to cover every blind spot on the street, except his own property. He had designed it that way deliberately. Trial lasted 12 days. Forensic evidence, ground radar results, the hidden room, the calendar, security camera footage showing each victim entering number 14 and never leaving. Raymond Holt maintained a calm, cooperative demeanor throughout the entire trial, smiled politely at the jury during opening statements. The jury took 2 hours and 8 minutes. 3 counts guilty. First-degree murder, guilty premeditated conspiracy, guilty abuse of human remains, life without parole, 3 consecutive sentences. Raymond nodded when the verdict was read, like he was acknowledging a fair call at a homeowners meeting. Danny Okafor had just moved in. Fresh start. New neighborhood. Trusted the first guy who knocked on his door. Pete Garrison was just doing his job, showed up with his tools, never made it home. Carol Sims was 67 years old and needed help carrying groceries. She trusted the man who had helped her for years. 3 completely different people. 1 completely ordinary-looking house. Detective Sarah Obi gave one interview after the trial. She said, Raymond Holt didn't just blend in. He made himself essential. He made people need him. And then he used that. The neighborhood watch signs were the thing that got me. He put them up so he could see everyone, and nobody could see him. The house at number 14 Elmwood Drive was purchased by the city. It sits empty. No for sale sign. No new family. Just a clean lawn that the city mows every 2 weeks because nobody, and I mean nobody, wants to live there. The scariest street in America looks exactly like yours. Subscribe for more true crime disturbing story every week.